You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building, Royce the 5'9".
What's up?
Sir.
What's
What
up?
up, though?
Hey, hold on, let me go ahead and
What
pause
up, though?
this.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna pause this before I say it, bro. You smell fresh.
Thank you,
What
man.
the hell are you wearing? Like, I need to
Thank you.
know. That fragrance.
Is that how you gonna start it?
I'm
Thank you,
sitting there
man.
typing. I'm like, I know this man is smelling good, man.
You want to smell like another man? Is that what you
I
guys
appreciate
I
thought?
that.
don't want to know what the fragrance is.
I appreciate that.
Don't
It's,
tell me.
I'll tell you off camera. I'll tell
Okay,
you
all
off
right,
camera, yeah.
word.
I don't want other rappers trying to,
It's
smell.
Brute by
Now, where do you
Fabergé.
go from there, Charlamagne? What's the next question? What's the next question?
Oh, I mean, we can get right to the music, but I just really did want to know what was his fragrance.
Well, the new album is Layers.
Yeah.
And you started off with Tabernacle. Now, it was interesting because I listened to that song first, right? And it's a very powerful way to start your album, very introspective. But you talk about being in the same hospital where your grandmother was in the hospital, your son was being born,
Mm-hmm.
all at the same time in the same hospital, right? And then you also had a show that night.
Yeah.
And that was
Man.
probably one of the most important days, would you
It
say?
was by far the most important day of my life. My grandmother passed away in the same hospital that my first son was born.
Mm.
And it was the same night that I met Eminem.
Really?
All in
And
one
he's
day.
the person who put me in the business, So it was real crazy. And my grandmother didn't live anywhere near the hospital. She got actually hit by a drunk driver. Car accident.
Yikes.
She was coming from church. So I got a call saying that my girl was in labor. I get to the hospital. I'm going to the 9th floor. Elevator opens up on the 5th floor. 5th floor elevator opens up. My uncle's standing there crying. So I'm like, okay, is he here to see my girl? And what is he crying for? Like, what's going on? I'm like, what's up? And he was just like, Ryan, they all out there. So I step off the elevator and look to my left, and it's my mother and her entire side, that entire side of the family. So I go over there like, yo, what's wrong? And they like, Granny's been in a bad accident. So I'm going up and down to flights, you know what I'm saying? Seeing what's up with my girl, seeing what's up with my granny. So I had to go do the show, opening up for a young usher, actually.
Oh, really? It was
Yeah,
Usher?
yeah. It was a show opening up for Usher, for a young Usher. So I went and did the show.
And you weren't even sure you wanted to leave the hospital because it felt like...
Yeah, I actually didn't want to leave, but my mother told me to go. Everybody was like, we'll keep you posted. It was a contract show. You know what I'm saying? So I went and did it. And I met Marshall. Marshall was there selling his tape, his local Slim Shady EP.
So he was just
It
like
was
a
an
local
EP.
guy
Yeah.
that just there to see the show.
It was 1997.
He was
yeah.
pushing his mixtape, yeah.
Yeah, so he had like a booth set up selling the Slim Shady EP. So I was on stage. I said a cappella, and I said, I'm iller than standing in front of a gorilla holding a banana. Like, that was one of the punchlines that I said. That was like kind of dope for back then.
Yeah.
And you still remember that line, huh?
That's all I remember. 'Cause
That's
it's
all I
like,
remember.
that's all I remember because it's so whack. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like, so Marshall was like, yo, did you say I'm iller than standing in front of a gorilla holding a banana? I was like, yeah, man. So we just got cool. We started talking.
You must like bananas.
I don't know what it is, bro.
And
I don't
did
what
you
it-
know who he was
he
at that
on our
point?
kind of- yeah.
Okay.
The first time I went to the hip hop shop, he was him, Proof, Elzai, like guys like that. They let me know that I wasn't as good as I thought I was. You know what I'm saying? They was in there just shredding MCs. So I get back to the hospital to check on my baby, and they tell me my granny didn't make it, and I met my son for the first time, and it all happened at the same time. So
Why are we just hearing about this story now? Like, I know that I've heard for this new album, it's going to be like a 2-part album, a 3-part album, or something like that. And you want to reveal more of yourself?
yeah. Well, Layers is my first time being really introspective. See, I got sober almost 4 years ago. I stopped drinking. You know what I'm saying? So once I stopped
For what
drinking,
reason? You got a problem or you just wanted to give it up?
oh, I got a problem. I got a drinking problem for
You had to
sure.
go to the
I'm an alcoholic.
actual
Yeah,
hospital.
I'm an alcoholic.
Really?
I go to AA meetings. I seek therapy, everything. I had to go to the hospital to get sober. So I'm very forthcoming with that. You know what I'm saying? I talk about that a lot. So when I decided to get sober, all of these memories just started hitting me. Up until that point, I just wanted to MC. I'm from the hip hop shop era. All I wanted to do was just talk about wrecking other MCs. I never really felt the need to be introspective. You know what I'm saying? So once those memories started hitting me and I was able to reflect back and think about that time, I was able to put the floors together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew that I met Marshall that day, but it didn't dawn on me that he put me in the business and all of this stuff happened until after the fact. So I figure, it's never too late, to talk about these things. So now it's like, I want to discuss everything.
Now, when you talk about alcoholism, I think there's a lot of people in hip-hop that are alcoholics and don't know it.
Yeah.
Like the way we consume liquor. Like, how did you know for sure you were indeed an alcoholic?
I think, you know what, I was just making too many mistakes, and everything that was wrong was alcohol based. Everything that was wrong, all roads led to too much drinking.
Right.
You know, and I got to a point where I was drinking probably like a liter of Patron a day.
Damn.
Every single
I
day.
definitely heard stories about you coming to the studio with a whole bottle of 1800 or something and drinking the whole entire thing. They'd be like, damn, I can't believe he just drank all that.
It was a gift, man. It was a gift. It's one of those gifts. It's one of those gifts that you don't, you know what I'm saying? The kind of gift you don't want to have.
And you actually called Eminem to tell him that you felt like
Yeah. He was one of the people that I called first.
He had addictions too, though.
Yeah, he's actually, he's battling pill addiction. So he's 8 years sober on the 20th of this month.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I called him. I said, yo, man, I think it's time. I think it's time for me to stop. And he said, you know what, Royce, man, that's the realest thing you ever said to me. Come home. You know what I'm saying? I flew home. I believe I was here. I was in New York. I think I was in a hotel room with a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like I flew home, and then he put me in this hospital. I seen his doctor. They had to hook me up to IVs to help me to be able to go to sleep without drinking. See, I got to the point where I couldn't really go to sleep without drinking.
Did you try
the alcohol withdrawal symptoms.
Like sober sex?
Yeah, man, I don't. What you mean?
Like no alcohol, have sex with a girl,
and then go to sleep.
Not often in sleep, yeah.
No, it wasn't that I couldn't sleep. It was that I was afraid to go to sleep. Because you know when your body wind down, that's when the alcohol withdrawal symptoms start kicking in. Like heart rate speed up and stuff because your blood is thin. You know what I'm saying? Your heart rate start to speed up. And one time my heart rate sped up so much, it pounded like out my chest, and I jumped out my bed and was on my feet. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like cold sweats. You feel like you're going to have seizures. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really, really bad. And that's actually how you die too from alcoholism.
Do you think you were trying to escape something by drinking so much? Like was it something happened in your childhood maybe? I don't know.
I had a pretty rough childhood, but I don't think that's what it was. I think it's because I'm wired like an addict. I come from a long line of addicts and alcoholics. My father battled addiction. A lot of my uncles. And my first addiction, I was telling you yesterday, my first addiction was chewing gum. You know what I'm saying? Like when I don't chew gum, I grind my teeth.
They call that an oral fixation.
Yeah, well, listen. My mama telling me her putting hot sauce on my thumb when I was sucking my thumb when I was little.
Hot sauce.
Yeah, I was addicted to I wanted hot sauce all the time. I'm wired.
Reverse effect.
I'm wired that way. So
what's
I
your
like
addiction?
Texas Pete too though. On everything.
Addiction is different, not on your finger.
Not on your thumb.
But are you
suck it on
addicted
your
to
thumb.
anything now that you've given up alcohol? Is there anything?
As soon as I stopped drinking, I immediately started drinking too much 5-hour energy. I was drinking like 8 or 9 of those a day.
You really can't sleep.
Yeah. Then I started drinking Monster Energy. Like I was drinking a lot of those. I mean, I still have 1 or 2 of those every now and then. Those things are delicious.
Hold on, correct me if I'm wrong. So you were putting hot sauce on your thumb as an adult too?
Nah.
No, I'm just saying as a child.
He said his mom would
Allow me to
suck
correct you.
your thumb.
Hot sauce on your thumb. so you
Moms
stop
do that
sucking
so
it.
that you don't suck your thumb, but
That'd be kind of ill though.
They didn't do that to you like as a kid?
I never sucked my thumb when I saw it happen to a kid.
Right.
That'd be
You can't
kind
do
of
that now.
ill
That's
though.
abuse. That probably would be abuse now in
Yeah.
this day and age.
Yeah,
But I have
yeah.
a problem with my son now, so the doctor gave me something to put on my son's thumb, and he like it. So it makes
I'm
it
gonna
worse.
do that now. I'm gonna be having a meeting with somebody and be like, yeah, man. So you know,
your thumb.
what's up? Yeah, just freaking watch. That'd be kind of ill. Now, I also saw that you said you feel like it's a huge void in the marketplace for violent music.
I think there is, man. I think there is. I think guys like Westside Gun and Conway, y'all familiar with them?
Put me on.
They taking it to where like the Locks took it when they first came out. You know what I mean?
Street rap.
I think it's just street rap. Everybody want to be too nice.
But don't when you get older, you like, you don't want to listen. I mean, I love the Locks, but when you get older, you don't want to hear that shoot 'em up, bang, bang,
But you know
kill
what?
everybody.
It's a time and a place for it. You
That's
know
what
what I'm
50
saying?
said. 50 said everybody can't be friends.
Yeah.
Like, we all can't be friends.
Yeah, but we get grown. I don't want to rap about people shooting no more. I don't want to ride in the car and hear, I'm going to shoot you in the face when I see you, you're dead. Like,
I mean, it's a feeling. It's like watching movies. What kind of movies you like?
Right.
You like
Love
people
gangster
shooting. You like people shooting guns in movies. And I kind of view music the same way. You know what I mean? Like it's not like because I can't really. Now that I'm getting a little bit older, I feel you because I can't really listen to everybody talking about drinking lean and snorting coke all day.
Yeah.
Like I don't really feel like hearing that. You know
especially
what I
when
mean?
you know where it leads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't listen to people dancing all the time either. You
I
seem
don't
like a
really go to
dancer.
clubs. I don't really go to clubs. So it's like even the kind of music that I make, like straight up lyrical music, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it in the club. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I just think it's a time and a place for all music, and I think all music is not consumed in clubs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I only listen to music in the car. Only place I listen to music.
You don't really go to the club like that.
I don't go to the club at all.
I personally like introspective music. Like I'm interested in hearing layers now because you are talking about these issues. Because I feel like these are the type of stories that help people get through. Because somebody out there is dealing with this right now, alcoholism or something.
And that's definitely part of my sobriety. You know what I'm saying? I want to help. I want to help people. You know what I mean? And I don't want these young kids coming into the game thinking that this is a part of it, because it's not.
Or is that why you don't go to the club?
I never really been much of a club kind of guy, but now that I don't drink, I don't see what it is for me to do in the club. I don't dance. So what am I gonna do?
I don't dance.
I'm
Listen
with
to
you, bro.
music,
Well,
vibe.
Listen to music and vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, I
have
guess
friends
I
that
can see
don't
that.
drink at all, and they still go to the club just to, like, you know.
I see you in the club a couple of times.
Yeah.
probably got
I'm not
paid to
against
be
it.
there.
I'm not against it.
You
Yeah,
go-
if somebody, you know, if I got like an offer to do like a walkthrough or something, I would consider it. But I don't wake up like, yo, man, where are we going tonight? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hate the club.
I'm cool with that. Yeah,
I found myself going to the club only like last time I was in the club was in London, and I had people with me who wanted to go out.
Yeah.
And I was already getting paid to be there, so I'm like, okay, why not? But I was sitting there like, when is this over? How much longer do I got to stay?
Bro, it's for the kids. It's for the kids. It's for the kids. That's all we did was fight in clubs, man. We used to go to the clubs and just fight, drink. That's
I
it.
don't know. Me and my girls, we go to the clubs, sit at the table, have a good time, dance, chit chat. You know.
I think it's different when you got kids and stuff too, though. Like when you got a family at home, like you be like, why am I here? I could be home with my dog.
Yo, man, I like making music so much, like the thrill of like new beats and new verses. Like that's what I prefer to do. You know,
Your
like,
son's a producer now, right?
Yeah. My son's a producer.
Is
he's
he
really,
on the album? Did
he's
he
really
produce
good.
anything?
Nah, we ain't turned that corner yet. Like we ain't,
He didn't
we
try to
ain't turned
submit-
that.
he
We
didn't
ain't,
submit
we ain't
nothing?
turned that father and son corner yet. Like he going to college. He just got accepted to CMU, Central
Dope.
Michigan University. So that's the central focus in my household right now.
How do you know what's new and what the vibe is? If you say you only listen to radio in the car, you don't
The
go to
internet,
club,
man.
you just
The
do you,
internet,
it's like,
the
F
internet,
that.
the internet. No. The internet is the new streets. I pay attention to everything. I know everything. I listen to everything.
But I feel like that don't affect you because you've never been on that anyway. You ain't never making no club records or no radio records. Like you've always just been a lyricist.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I pretty much pride myself on being, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me being aware of what my lane is. But I like all different kinds of music, you know what I'm saying? I just don't go to the club to listen to it.
Now you hate Drake.
What?
I could be late. I could be misconstruing this.
Where did you ever
but
say
I've been
that?
hearing
What headline
I've
did you
been
get
hearing
that from?
Simmons that Royce doesn't think Drake's a lyricist.
Cite your sources.
Twitter.
Bro, I'm one of the biggest Drake fans out there.
So where did that come from?
He just
think
said
he's
that
great.
because he doesn't write all his own stuff, he considers you a lyricist, right? If you do, but
Yeah, I think he's a lyricist. I just don't think, I was asked if he should be considered top tier lyricist because he doesn't write every single thing. He said he doesn't write every single thing. So I said I automatically can't put him ahead of Kendrick. I don't think that's fair, but I still think he's great. I think he's a great lyricist. I think the way that he creates is great. I think going in there with a team of people and the way that he pieces everything together. I mean, I wrote for Diddy. I watched Diddy work like that. Watch Dre work like that. I think that's a great way of working. I think it's a new thing, and I think it's fresh, and I accept it. But if you want to
Diddy
know
and-
my opinion about him being a top tier lyricist, I'm not gonna put him over Kendrick or Cole.
But Diddy and Drake never claimed to be MCs either, though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like it's
I don't know that I
arguable.
hear Drake going around saying I'm a lyricist either, though.
He says he's the best all the time.
He is a lyricist. He is a lyricist, and he's arguably one of the best artists.
Yeah,
So is
artist.
Kanye. You know what I'm saying? They're great artists. But when you want to talk about lyricists, I think about guys like Kendrick, Cole, Eminem. You know, guys who go in the studio with nothing and come out with everything.
And I don't think it's necessarily saying a bad thing or putting somebody down by
It's
saying,
not at all.
okay, he's a great artist, but do I consider him the greatest lyricist? If you don't write all your own stuff, that's not your lyrics necessarily. So how can that, add up?
I think it's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty simple. If you write everything or you don't. If you don't write everything, then you automatically get taken out of certain conversations. But it's not a knock to you.
What do you think
At
about
all.
people who use like I guess quote unquote reference tracks? Because Renegade was you and M first, and then Hove got on it.
Yeah, but that's a different kind of scenario because me and M did the song first. We weren't going to use it. You know, like we did 2 records for my album that I had where I was signed to Sony. We did those 2 records. We did the song called Rock City and we did Renegade. We decided not to use Renegade because we can only use one. Interscope was only going to clear him for one.
Mm-hmm.
So the song was just sitting. Hov had been asking M for a few albums to get on some stuff. So M called me and was like, yo, what do you think about me giving this to Jay-Z? Because I'm not going to keep telling him no, because we look up to Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was a song that was just sitting. We weren't going to do nothing with it. So we just took my vocals off, and he sent it to Jay, and Jay put his verses in it, and now it's their song. That's way different from a reference track. You know what I'm saying? Like, a reference track involves somebody writing for somebody.
Like if he would have said your lyrics.
Yeah. Like if he would have said my verse, that would have been a whole nother. Then we would have had to put Hov in a whole nother conversation, which would have ruined my childhood. You know what I'm saying?
But say you're in the studio working, right, and you have, your people around you. Sometimes I'm sure it happens that people are like, oh, you should say this here. Does that get a little shaky sometimes with them saying, well, I told you, because I'm sure you get inspired by people being in the studio, other artists with you, and they might say, oh, you know what you should say right here, or how about this?
I can't think of a time that I can't think of a time that has happened to
Even
me.
with Slaughterhouse?
Or even with Eminem, Bad Meets Evil, I say this, you know what you should say?
Yeah,
I'm sure,
maybe,
and I don't think that means
yeah.
you didn't necessarily write it, but I'm
sure-
sure when you're in the
I think
studio,
share a bar.
I don't know. Yeah. I can kind of see that. Maybe like with me and M, we go back and forth a lot. Like we finish syllables a lot. So he may go a bar over on a line, and instead of him going that bar over, I may I may start with that bar and say that and continue the syllable.
Right.
But I mean, that's still splitting the song 50-50. It's not like, yo, I wrote this verse for you. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Now, how does it affect you professionally when in your personal life you've battled alcohol addiction, but then you're around other people who are battling addiction like Eminem, Button? Like, does that affect y'all?
Well, it's cool being around M, you know what I'm saying? Because we both fight in the same fight, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. When I'm around other people who, still do what they do, I encourage everybody to just be themselves. Once you start like hiding liquor and doing stuff like that, it make me feel weird.
And that's
it
when
makes
you really
me
look like alcohol.
it makes me think about it makes me think about my problems. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just be yourself, I can tune that out because the liquor is not like a steak. You know what I'm saying? I don't smell it and want to drink it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's way deeper than that.
Not like it smells great.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
Don't look at this guy's an ass. Don't even look to the right. Don't look to the right. Now, what's your relationship with Slaughterhouse and Joe and everybody?
I mean, they my mans. You know what I'm saying? I love those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like we just talked a couple days ago about what we're gonna do about this album. I know everybody been waiting. Everybody been waiting. They want to know what's going on with it. And I just been telling everybody like we didn't really start the group out as a group. We started as solo artists. We didn't even know each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We decided to form the group like that. And we needed some time to do solo stuff. When I first got sober, I decided I wanted to kind of reintroduce myself to people, and it was going to take a minute for me to reestablish myself as a solo artist. I mean, I didn't even know what my worth is as a solo artist because I spent so much time in groups. Right. Prime, Slaughterhouse, Bad Meets Evil, so that's
coming. And you do another Prime album too?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're working on that now.
What happened
So you
with
didn't even know Slaughterhouse?
I didn't know none of them. I didn't know none of them.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
I didn't know none of them.
What happened with the first album? It seemed like people expected a whole lot more, and they didn't get as much. Was that because the label was involved?
The Shady album?
The mixtapes, yeah, because the mixtapes everybody loved, and the street everybody loved, but that Shady album, I don't think the fans loved it as much.
Yeah, we didn't deliver the right album. You know what I'm saying? And I think that happens. That happens when you're under the pressure of conforming to, I want to say radio. With respect.
F radio,
with
bro.
respect, yeah, with respect, because I know I'm sitting here at radio. But you got to be careful as an artist not to step outside of your realm. You got to be you. I think that's what people love the most. And Slaughterhouse is definitely that kind of a brand where our whole goal was just to bring back lyricism. It shouldn't have been to target pop radio or anything like that. And I can take a lot of that blame because I was instrumental in making a lot of those songs.
Did you feel that because you were signed to Shady and you was like, oh, we got to sell records?
I was coming off of Bad Meets Evil, so we had Lighters. And Lighters was my song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like it was a logical next step, but I also wasn't thinking super clear. You know what I'm saying? So we should have just been Slaughterhouse. We should have just rapped. That's exactly what we're going to do next album.
I tell artists that all the time. Just create. Like, don't even worry about radio. How are you making the best possible music you can make if you're thinking I have to make this for radio to play?
It's a lot of pressure, man. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of people working, at the labels, telling you, yo, you need this kind of song, you need this kind of, now that you're signed here, you got to go up now. You got to level up. Artists think that they have to level up instead of just being themselves and just making the right moves.
Isn't that an old school way of thinking, though? I look at all these guys who ain't even signed, who don't get radio play, who still selling records, still selling our shows.
Yeah, they still selling our shows, exactly. But as soon as they sign to a major and they get in that major label system, they definitely start to switch it up a little bit. The ones who stay independent normally just stay them.
Yeah.
I see a lot of guys doing that now. But I mean, the guys from my era, man, I mean, that's where we come from. We signed to a major and we got to figure out how to turn that corner on a major when really we can just be ourselves.
Now, you have your own independent label now that you put this album out on. Are you trying to sign other artists? And what made you decide that you wanted to stay independent and do your own thing?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to sign other artists. I want to stay independent because I can move a lot cleaner and smoother, on my own accord, without having to clear things. I like to, kind of call the shots a little bit, and I also have situations on major labels too. So I get to experience the yin and the yang, and I don't want to put everything on a major. I don't want people in my pocket all across the board. You know what I'm saying? So, and yeah, I'm definitely looking to sign other artists too, but I'm gonna take that slow. I'm not gonna be one of those guys signing people and just having them sitting around, and next thing you know, they doing interviews complaining about me and shit.
Royce ain't paying us no money. He won't put on our
You know what I'm
album out.
You've had the same manager, too, from the beginning of your career.
Yeah, I hate him. I hate him.
Our guy, Keno.
Charlamagne thought he was a member of
Jack Edge.
No Jagged.
This was years
So
ago.
when he saw a lot of things happening with you, was he like, man, you got to clean this up? Like, how difficult was it for him to have to work with you when, you were
He
struggling
looked like he
with
got sober with
alcoholism?
you. Both of y'all look like y'all doing raw fit. And y'all poured up eating your vegetables.
You know what? It's tough, man, when you really, really close to somebody and you're working with them. You're real close friends, and you see him doing that. You don't really know how to approach him. Like he threw like little hints and stuff, and then sometimes he, but I'm one of those kinds of people. I didn't really listen, especially when I was drinking. And the fact that I knew that about myself, it was kind of like, all right, if I don't make this decision on my own, it's not gonna happen. Because I know my wife not gonna threaten to leave me, and I'm gonna do it, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, because she already had did that. She threatened to leave, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. Get out of here then. You know what I'm saying? But I knew it wasn't going to come from nobody else. I was going to have to make the decision myself. So that's kind of like how it happened.
How does life look now?
Way sweeter. Way sweeter. Much better decisions. My head is clear. The music is getting better. It's being received better.
Better relationship at home.
Better relationship at home. Better relationships with people. No problems. You know what I'm saying? No beef. No, still lose my temper here and there, but, no violence. No. I used to walk around with a cast on my hand all the time. I used to just be going upside people's head. Bow.
Yeah, I read this quote. If I'm drunk and see somebody, I'm going to just shoot them. That's how I felt. It was a terrible way for me to be living my life, but it just was what it was.
Now, when did I say that?
On hiphopdx.com. See, he was drunk.
He was probably drunk, you don't remember.
Yeah. I mean, I probably was in a dark place, like if I was beefing with some people or something. Because I went through serious beef. Like a lot of the stuff that the rappers think that it's cool to glorify. Like I feel like I'm from the messiah of that kind of behavior. And I'm just really, really, really glad to be past that, man. It was a real, man. I cringed just thinking about it. Oh, yeah.
So was it because you was a rapper and people was upset that you had made it and maybe
That's it.
You weren't you're not helping enough people.
And you know what? You got to know how to carry yourself, man. You can't you got to stand your ground, but you can't meet that kind of force with force all the time because it's very difficult to survive that. Very difficult. And it don't mean that you're not gangster, you're not real. It just means, the odds are against you. Stop it. You got to know how to deal with people. You got to learn how to diffuse situations. That's what a boss does.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think it was a black thing? Because I'm sure Eminem did not have those problems in Detroit. I'm sure nobody was like, why Eminem ain't putting us on?
He would have if he would have made himself accessible.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's my thing. I wanted to be in the hood all the time. I wanted to be in all the spots. I wanted to be everywhere. I wanted to be everywhere. I wanted to be out touching the people. Marshall just liked to bust his raps and go home. And that's how you're supposed to treat this business, like it's a job. Do your job and go home. And be respectful. Be respectful.
It's easy for him because But nobody's be like, oh, Eminem ain't real. You don't come around no more. He probably never came around to begin with.
No, they talked about him.
They definitely talked about him
that.
because he used to be. He would be at St. Andrews.
He went
all
through
the time.
it all. He went through it all. Yeah, because he used to be everywhere.
Every battle,
St.
every
Andrews.
competition, and then he had to fall back.
He got famous.
He had to though.
I got right in that weird spot where it's like I'm famous, but then I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like the most dangerous spot where it's like I don't really need to be walking around with security, but since I don't have security, let's see what's up with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm drunk, so I'm like, yo, come see what's up with me. You know what I'm saying? It was bad.
Now, what do you think about Detroit? It seems like Detroit has cleaned up a lot. And, me and you stay in Detroit. We love Detroit.
Yeah.
What do you think
we
about
actually both bought houses in Detroit.
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard. That's smart. That's smart. I mean, I think it's great, man. We making the comeback. We got that resurgence going. You know what I'm saying? Like the downtown looks way better. It's cool. I mean, we still got some really, really bad neighborhoods like run down. We still got a lot of problems to fix, but
a whole lot of work.
Yeah, we're a work in progress though. We're a work in progress.
Now, what got you out of your dark period altogether?
Stopping drinking was one of them.
Okay.
Maturity. You know, I had to mature out of it, and you know, like proof passing. Proof passing helped me a lot. You know, proof passing.
Wasn't it just the anniversary of that? I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple
Proof passing. My man Blade Icewood passing. Wipeout passing. These are Detroit legends.
Right.
You know, and that's why I say I come from the messiah of that kind of behavior, because these are guys getting killed partly because they're in the business, because they're involved in rap in Detroit, and they have fans. You know what I'm saying? They have people following them, and they got these beefs, and everybody trying to hype beefs up, and then they end up getting killed. It's just like they're like the Pacs and the Bigs of Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So once I seen that, it was like, okay, this is not what I want. I don't want this out of this. I just want to be a lyricist. You know, I started out at the Ebony Showcase in the hip hop shop, just kicking lyrics. I wasn't even like a street guy. I play basketball. You know what I'm saying? And they're making me dumb myself. These people are making me dumb myself down to being this violent, crazy person, and I don't want to be that.
You never felt like moving out of Detroit?
I felt like it, but I can't bring myself to do it. That's one thing I can't do. I'll never know another place like I know Detroit. And I love New York. I lived here like plenty of times. But I can never just relocate, take my family away from Detroit. Can't do it.
It's interesting you say that, though, because even when D12 was here, they talked about all the issues they faced in the street. And I'm like, yo, y'all aren't even the rappers that rap about that street.
Those be the guys.
Yeah.
It be the guys. The guys that rap about all of that, they ain't really been through it. Most of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be careful, man. You judge a book by its cover. There's some really, really vicious people in Detroit you would never expect. You know what I'm saying? It's just in them, I guess.
What's the next layer of Royce? What's the next layer you peeling off? Since we seeing this personal side of you, what's next?
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit more personal with the next album. I didn't want to come on too strong. I'm gonna get really, really, really into my storytelling. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's another void missing in hip hop.
Are you enjoying telling all these layers of yourself now?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it because it's getting a really good response.
It's helping people.
Yeah, it's helping people. It's getting a really good response, and you know, it's not gonna all be about sobriety. It's gonna be about a lot of stuff that went on in my childhood, and I'm gonna just continue to.
Like that?
I'm gonna try to just continue to age gracefully lyrically. I always use Black Thought as an example.
Oh yeah,
he's somebody who I admire. You know, it's a certain flyness to him because he's aging gracefully lyrically, and he's not chasing around the youth.
He's doing age-appropriate stuff.
You got to go ahead and be an adult. Be an adult, you know what I'm saying? We know that the kids have a stranglehold on the business. We know that they're doing great things, and we support that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of those guys who's like one of the older heads that's like against the youth. I love the youth. I love Drake. I love Kendrick, Meek, Wale, Sean, you know what I'm saying? But I don't chase what they do. I don't blow their phone up for verses, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do what I do. And I do it well, you know what I mean? And I'm going to continue to do that as long as people want to hear it. And, you know, once it starts to look corny, I'm out of here.
I see you adopting, too, that you focusing on your kids more. You don't answer your phone when your phone rings with your kids. That's something I'm adopting slowly but surely as well.
I think you should, man. I think you should. I think that's important, you know, because this business, it'll suck everything out of you. Yeah. It'll take everything out of you. And I want to be one of those guys that's going to walk away from the business with everything intact. I don't want to walk away with financial troubles. I don't want to be in trouble with the IRS. I don't want to be estranged from my daughters. You know what I mean? Like, I want to walk away with everything intact.
Yeah, that's the best feeling. I turn my phone off when I'm with the kids. Phone's off. You catch me the next day.
That's right.
Well, we appreciate you joining us, man.
Thank you for having me, man. I love the show too, man.
In
by the
stores
way.
Right now. Make sure you pick it up. Royce the 5'9". It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in.